Thank you, Prem sir.
Yeah. Yes, sir. To start off with the show, can you brief us about how did you envisage this framework to bring up for specific industries? I believe you have uh, solutions for all the industries, and we are predominantly taking this session for manufacturing companies. Would like you to start with an introduction and how you started, how the journey started of building this whole framework. We would like to know from you, sir.
Thank you, Prem sir, for the nice introduction and opening of the session. And thank you for inviting me for this session. So actually, I did doctorate in this subject of business domain specific least cybersecurity controls implementation from SSDM Geneva, Switzerland. And it is a new cybersecurity framework for small and medium enterprises. Few countries call it as a small and medium enterprises. Few countries call it as a small and medium business. Few countries call it as a micro, small and medium enterprises. But where all definitions are pointing towards same thing. These companies are specialized in a particular domain of the industry, like manufacturing, chemical, pharmaceutical, IT. And these companies are defined on the basis of the turnover, employee strength, as well as the location of the company. So definition changes and the segment also of the company. So BDSLCCI, when I did research internationally, I interacted with the 19 different countries, top management of small and medium enterprises, and I tried to identify what are the problems they are facing while implementing the cybersecurity controls in their organizations. And the reason behind it is like according to 2019 statistics of the cyber attacks, 1 out of 2 small and medium enterprise were experiencing cyber breaches, and 43% of the industry targeted cyber attacks were happening on the small and medium and small businesses. And the small businesses which are undergoing cyber attacks, 60% of them shutting down their business down the time of 6 months, according to NCS. Is the biggest threat for the global economy. These small and medium enterprises are very important for global economy as they represent 60 to 70% of employment opportunities worldwide, as well as 55% of GDP contribution in developed economy, and they are 90% of the business population. So that is the importance of these small and medium enterprises. When I interacted with these 19 different countries, top management of small and medium enterprises of different domains, I come across 3 major problems which they are facing. First major problem is they are saying we don't have enough money to implement existing standards available in the market, because these standards available in market are asking for number of controls which are more than 100, and it is very difficult for us to invest money or funds or budget to implement and maintain these controls. Secondly, this small and medium enterprises top management were saying like we don't have enough skilled teammates or resources to maintain or implement these cybersecurity controls, which these leading standards of cybersecurity are talking about. Third thing, they are saying what is the return on investment? If we have limited fund, we have limited time, and we have our targets to achieve yearly basis or monthly basis. So how this cybersecurity implementation or the investment of time and money, how it will benefit us as a business? So that is not clear when you are actually adopting any kind of cybersecurity standard. So these are the 3 problems which they spoke to me. Then as I'm working since 20 years in the IT industry, and out of which around half of the time I work, half of the years I actually worked in cybersecurity domain and audits. So I knew what are the challenges they are facing, but during research, these challenges again came in very structured way in front of me. I created a new cybersecurity framework, which is business domain specifically cybersecurity controls implementation, BDSLCCI, which is talking about the depending on your business domain, it will give you the cybersecurity controls, tailored cybersecurity controls, which are required for your business's mission critical asset to be protected, as well as defense in depth mechanism to be implemented throughout the organization. mission critical asset in the sense, suppose there is a manufacturing company, the mission critical asset might be CNC machines. If there is a chemical company, there is a formula of the medicine which is maintained by computer system, that might be the mission critical asset. For the shopping, online shopping website, might be the mission critical asset of e-commerce company. So mission critical asset changes. So security controls which are required to safeguard that mission critical asset is prioritized in BDSLCCI. Apart from that, every organization is having different layers. For example, suppose we will take one of the mission critical asset, which is information. So there is a data layer, there is a application layer, there is a host security or endpoint security layer, then there is a network layer, then there is a physical layer, then there is a human layer, then there is a governance layer. So it is known as 7 layers of defense in depth. So that also taken care parallel to a mission critical asset security in BDSLCCI. And BDSLCCI is to make it more deployable for the organizations and to it is it should be easy to use for them. So we created as a SecureClaw, we created a new portal known as BDSLCCI.com where companies need to register themselves. It is free of cost available, and companies can get online consulting through the portal where they will utilize the journey of cybersecurity controls recommendation by BDSLCCI depending on their domain, their mission critical assets, as well as they will actually undergo certain cybersecurity levels of BDSLCCI. There are 3 levels, level 1, level 2, level 3, depending on the controls implementation. Apart from that, they receive the list of controls they need to implement. They'll receive the free cybersecurity policy documents, guidelines, and many matrices which they can use. Apart from that, they receive tools to scan their machine to identify the weakness in their endpoints like laptop, desktops. Apart from that, they are also receiving many posters free of cost and many things free of cost which they can actually utilize during their throughout the journey of the BDSLCCI. And it helps companies to get cybersecurity in very easy way and very strategic way. So as it is in align with the mission critical assets and defense in depth of the organization, and it is only 15 to 40 controls which we are trying to deliver to them through BDSLCCI, which are important for safeguarding their business. So organizations also feel it is talking about their business. So they see the return on investment. And as we compared this BDSLCCI with existing standards of cybersecurity, it is 6 to 10 times cheaper than existing standard because these standards start from $15,000 or $30,000 kind of charges if the company sizable company undergoes the cybersecurity implementation of the standard and the maintenance and many things. So BDSLCCI is very cheaper. We are only charging them for particular implementation audit, and we gave them certificate, a transcript, mark sheet kind of stuff, and also we are giving them coverage and effectiveness of the controls, web analytical report as our deliverable. So these 3 deliverables we are giving to them as a BDSLCCI outcome. And hundreds of companies, I guess we almost crossed 1,000 plus registrations in our BDSLCCI.com, and many companies has reached level 3 of the BDSLCCI. So you can check BDSLCCI.com for testimonies, and BDSLCCI is also published research in elsewhere and many journals internationally. Also, it was published as a chapter in a book published by Imran Publishing UK, talking about the digital globalized economy, global digitalized economy, and also it is available as a book, BDSLCCI, and this book got revised recently as a 2.0 in March. So this book is available on Amazon Kindle version, ebook version, as well as color paperback version. So BDSLCCI, if you Google out, you will see lot many articles starting from North America, United States, till Australia, China. Every country has published BDSLCCI related stuff at their country, and many organizations internationally also, not only from India and United States, many countries also started utilizing BDSLCCI. So this is something I wanted to share about BDSLCCI to start with.
you are talking about manufacturing. How many controls do we have for manufacturing in specific? And if we are looking for these controls, what are the key controls that existing manufacturing vendors should look at?
So, as you are talking about manufacturing companies are having various cyber threats actually. So, most of the cyber threats are like the ransomware attack, phishing attack, IP theft, means intellectual property theft, supply chain attack, industrial IoT attack. So, and there are quite a few big list actually, identity theft, many such cyber attacks. So, we have created a systematic approach when we are talking about manufacturing company. In the defense in depth, we have around 28, 29 controls protecting each layer of the company. Like I told you, the data layer, application layer, host endpoint layer, network layer, a human security layer, and physical layer, and governance layer. So there are 28 controls. Apart from that, parallel to that, suppose a manufacturing company, as a manufacturing company, there are many different mission critical assets which are configured in BDSLCCI. Particular company can choose any one of the mission critical asset to be protected to begin with, or they can choose multiple mission critical assets. What do I mean by the mission critical assets? CNC machine, computer numeric control machine, is one of the mission critical asset of the manufacturing. Then SCADA system is one of the mission critical asset of the manufacturing company. Supply chain network. There are certain softwares, line operations, algorithm of the robot, design drawings, very important, design drawings of the company's products, which are intellectual property of the company. So how these things, there are more than 18 mission critical assets of only for manufacturing company, which are configured in our BDSLCCI algorithm. Once you log into the BDSLCCI as a manufacturing company, you will see list of the mission critical assets. So to begin with, suppose company chooses design drawing and computer numeric control. So they will see 7 to 12 controls related to particular mission critical assets. And we are trying to protect how the CNC machine can be protected. So there are controls specified. What are the best practices? How they need to implement the network segmentation. How the CNC machine should be protected if there is a ransomware attack happens or any other attack. So these kind of precautionary measures also specified over there. So this is how we are actually delivering the manufacturing organization related cybersecurity controls. So I will talk at high level around 50, if the company goes for level 1 of the BDSLCCI, which is ascending order of the control implementation first level. So they might be implementing only 15 to 20 controls. At level 2, they might implement 20 to 30 controls. And level 3, they might implement 30 to 40 controls. So like that, we have categorized the controls. And which control should be first, second, and third. That is decided. Apart from that, I would like to throw some light, which is deeper light in the about my research. So if we took any mission critical asset, we can categorize that mission critical asset in 3 pillars. First, it is known as CIA triad. C means confidentiality, I means integrity, IA means availability. In case of CNC machine, availability is the most important aspect, because if the CNC machine stop working, then it will cause huge loss for the MSME company or any company, because the shop floor should work, execute the orders, otherwise company will be facing loss. So the availability will be first priority for the CNC machine. If we are, for example, if I will talk about any e-commerce website, if e-commerce website will also have availability as the first criteria as compared to integrity and confidentiality. Even though 3 components are equally important, as we see security as a whole picture. But to begin with, I will prefer, BDSLCCI will prefer to protect availability first for the mission critical asset like CNC machine. Then the integrity, then the confidentiality. So that is how the controls are divided when we are talking about the mission critical assets. And depends in depth, it will start from the data layer and endpoint protection, and it will end till governance layer. So that is how it is again categorized depending on what kind of cyber threats manufacturing industry is facing. So it actually changes. So last year there was some different parameters while we designed particular defense in depth. This year, January onwards, the BDSLCCI 2.0 is live, which means there are few changes in the level positioning of the controls. And it is in align with the DPDP Act of the India, like Digital Data Privacy Act. Again, there are few changes in various countries for the digital protection. So we have prioritized digital protection of the data in the first level itself. Earlier it was at next level, but now we have changed it to the first level. Apart from that, this BDSLCCI framework is actually helping you to get insure. If you are going for cyber insurance, the prerequisite is also getting qualified in this BDSLCCI. So it is having various different use cases where it will help you, and only choosing like 15 to 40 controls. So that is how it works. I guess I answered your question.
Yes, sir, you answered. What would help the MSMEs when we use BDSLCCI manufacturing companies?
So look, for MSMEs, already they are having a lot of, when I'm visiting actually the mission manufacturing companies, I spoke to many manufacturing company owners and top management. I come across, they were saying there is a very big problem which is insider threat, which they are facing. So when their employees, companies are heavily investing in designing a new product, which that is actually differentiation for them in the market. Suppose a particular tool manufacturing company. So they have certain techniques and some methodologies through which they are actually manufacturing particular tool, which is helpful for big companies, and they are getting a huge market confidence. But when their employees or their engineers are leaving their company, they are joining to another company, they are actually implementing same design over there. And it is because the endpoint protection is not there, policies are weaker, and implementation is weaker for the security of the data or intellectual property. So that is one area. So similarly, there are multiple areas which particularly manufacturing industry is facing. And as we can see, the latest report published by one of the big four company, they are saying like 23% of the cyber breach or cyber attacks are happening on the BSFI segment, financial domain and banking segment, whereas 18% of the cyber attacks are happening on manufacturing. So second largest cyber attacks are happening on the manufacturing industry. And it is because many of such cyber attacks are state sponsored, and it is used for like disturbing another country's economy. And manufacturing are the biggest contributor towards DGI, any country's economy. And if those are getting disturbed, it is actually helping the competitor country or the enemy country. So that is how they are working on. So hacking is also getting huge sponsorship, and that's why they are able to break a particular weak security. And we are actually, as a researcher, my team and me, we are working for changing this BDSLCCI yearly basis. It is required because cybersecurity landscape is changing yearly or monthly basis, and we can't actually wait till some different methodology of the hackers get implemented. So it is very important to keep on changing the strategy every year. So we are launching BDSLCCI version every year start, which is outcome of the last year's study, how the cyber attack threats are changing, and how the new methodology, new approaches are being invented by the hackers. I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Continuing to the point, I wanted to understand how can MSMEs ensure compliance with these standards without burdening their resource excessively?
So as I told you, Prem sir, actually, look, this standard BDSLCCI is not just a framework. It is a complete SaaS system which I have created. It is converted into AI/ML driven web application, And our team actually working on this since 2022 start, I guess. And then we are actually, since 2 years, many developers, many business analysts, many researchers in my team, around 12 people team, actually, they are focused on implementing certain things. So this portal is not just a framework, it is a complete community of the MSME, where MSME, and it is actually city, it is actually a shopping mall for MSME, but we are giving many things free of cost. It is a collective effort we are putting, and we are actually displaying their various policy documents, various tools, various things, and we are giving those free of cost to the manufacturing or any company who registers with us. There is, if suppose a company need to undergo cyber security training, there is a separate portal in BDSLCCI itself, which is having training functionality, where employees of the company can log in and they can undergo cybersecurity training, video training, which is easy to go through from anywhere, from their office or their home, and they will undergo a test after training and they will get certificate. And the entire analytics who have completed training, everything is available on the portal for the admin of the company. Apart from that, there are tools which are free to download, SecureClaw crawler, which they can scan the machine and they can see what is happening on that machine. Is it having vulnerability? Is it having some improvement to be done as a security point of view? Everything is given as a report on the BDSLCCI.com for the admin of that company. Apart from that, the company admin can add 5 more teammates to help himself, and they will also get similar functionality access. Like they can create more managers for maintaining this. So there is a backup of that person is also able to, they can create. Apart from that, we are giving posters, banners. They can take printout of those posters and stick to the walls of their organization, so as everyone is security aware. And we are giving guidelines of, say, for example, if they are using Wi-Fi router, what are the best practices? 10 points or 5 points which they need to take care so as Wi-Fi router will not get hacked. So these are the best practices they need to follow. So we are giving guideline documents in the Word format. They just need to download. They need to put their logo, their company name at the header, and they can actually modify if they want, and they can start using it. Start giving the knowledge about it to the teammates, and they can start using it. It is constructed in a way so as it is easy to deliver for the accountant, HR manager, team, as well as developers or top management. Anyone of the organization who is able to read English can actually undergo and use this policy document and for guidelines, matrix, Excel sheets, having the roles and many things mapped. So everything is given free of cost. So only for the audit we are charging, where we are actually online asking them to upload the evidence against controls they have implemented, and we can actually give them audit result as a certificate transcript and web analytical report in the graphical representation, which they can share with their client. Most of the cyber attacks happening in small and medium enterprises are due to supply chain is formed by small and medium enterprise like MSME companies. One of the cyber attack I can remember now is about Toyota, which is the biggest manufacturing of car in Japan. So one of the MSME got hacked, which was working with that company, and because they were having access to particular system of the big company, so hackers were able to penetrate in that big company. So it means the supply chain was broken because of the outsourced company got hacked or vendor got hacked. The main company is facing problems. So this cybersecurity awareness is increasing now, and companies are asking, before outsourcing, they are asking that these are the 20 points, or you should be certain compliance implemented at your, or certain security controls you should have bare minimum at your company to become our to become our vendor. So these can be also taken care in BDSLCCI.com. If you are showing the report of the BDSLCCI implementation, showing the 7 layers of the organization, are covered. The defense in depth is already covered and is effective according to report signed by a person like me or the lead auditors. It will be sufficient for the big companies to trust you, like you are cyber secured. We can outsource the work to you. I already given this kind of report to few companies, and few companies are already working on this. Today itself, I had a call with one of the company. They are into manufacturing. They are 300 plus employees, and they need some cybersecurity guarantee, which their big companies are asking for from them. So they are undergoing BDSLCCI. The client also like the structure we are giving in a report and how coverage is happening. Within 40 controls, we are capturing all the layers and all the mission critical assets of the company. So they are happy and they ask them to implement BDSLCCI. So this is how it is very reasonable cost, which we are asking for the audit purpose, and it is reducing almost many things, 90% things we are giving free of cost. So that is the benefit which small and medium enterprises or MSME companies will benefit from BDSLCCI.
Thank you, Doctor, on that. What are some small and medium enterprises can sign up to utilize the BDC? What is the process?
Okay. So the MSME or any startup company, any small and medium business, even any shop or any school or college, anyone are welcome to join BDSLCCI. We have solutions for everyone. Okay, any company. Size doesn't matter. It is my sentence, which got published in one of the magazines recently. Like it is right of every company to get cyber secured, regardless of their size, revenue, and location. So everyone has right in digital world to get cyber secured. That is the motto of BDSLCCI. So BDSLCCI.com/sign up. If you go to BDSLCCI.com, any company can go to BDSLCCI.com. There is at the top right side, there is a sign up button and login button. So once if they have already logged in, already have signed up, then they can go for login. Otherwise, they need to click on sign up button and then they need to fill the normal information about their company and contact details. Once they do that, they receive an email where they receive a temporary password, and using that, they can actually log into the BDSLCCI. Once they log in, they are asked to select the business domain of their company. Are they manufacturing, pharma, chemical? So they can choose the domain. There are more than 60 domains configured over there. If they see if their domain is different, they can email us or they can contact our help desk. Then we will work on their domain to be inserted in our database. After that, they will see a gap analysis form where they need to fill certain information, and our team will do pre-gap analysis according to BDSLCCI logics or framework, and we will give them report in 3-4 days that what are the areas they are lagging and how they can improve. If they don't want to go for gap analysis, they can skip it. There is skip button, and they can enter into the dashboard. On the dashboard, they see the number of controls which they can implement, and there are certain steps. There are guidance given at left side panel where there are all the information about that particular page is explained, and they can use it. So I will share the demo link after this call in this description, so or comment, so as people will go through the demo and they can easily register themselves. So it is just BDSLCCI.com sign up/sign up, that page. Yeah.
So we'll post that in the comment section for the viewers to have that checked out.
Surely.
Yeah. Doctor, coming to the next few thoughts around BDSLCCI is what cybersecurity technologies are most suitable for MSE manufacturing considering the specific needs and constraints. With this tool, what is that they have to look at?
So this is a tool which is talking about the 3 areas of the control, which is technical control, administrative control, and processes that we can say. So these companies need to utilize all these controls to be cyber secured. and we have designed the levels of BDSLCCI in a way so as they get the every layer should have at least minimum, bare minimum, what is required for that particular layer. Suppose there is a host security, which we are talking in BDSLCCI. So what are the minimum 7-8 things which company need to take care? Like the employee should not have admin rights. Employee should have particular access to machine, but USB drive should not be enabled. So such things are specified in our policy document, which we give, and we are not giving hundreds of controls to be or hundreds of best practices to be implemented because the MSMEs are not able to implement those because they are not having the uh, enough time, and they need some specific controls to be implemented. So and because we are having defense in depth in place, it is very difficult for hacker to penetrate in. Suppose one layer get compromised, then another layer is there to give protection. And in any cybersecurity framework or controls or implementations, we are not able to say 100% cyber secured. We are saying like we are actually reducing the chances of getting hacked because we are trying to delay the process of hacking. And that's why yearly basis BDSLCCI version is changing, and we are making it more and more up to mark till the market hacks which are happening, hacking activities which are happening to the market. So that is how it is. So these are the areas we are taking care. So the policy documents and guidelines are very important. We have given only 4 to 10 points in each policy document which company need to follow, and that will be suffice for the small and medium enterprise. And this is not just I am saying, many companies who have already started utilizing BDSLCCI, they are experiencing very good results. Unnecessarily, they are not getting overburdened with the best practices, so as they need to form a IT department itself. Their employees itself are able to manage cybersecurity posture, which BDSLCCI is telling.
Okay. How does the portal of BDSLCCI enable continuous monitoring and improvement of their cybersecurity posture? Because you spoke about cybersecurity posture.
Correct.
So is there the feature that it gives you a dashboard where you can see the cybersecurity posture on the controls implemented?
We have the checkboxes which companies need to choose once they implement particular control, but that is their input. It is not based on our monitoring. But if companies are installing SecureClaw crawler, on the dashboard there is one monitor devices section where they can see the graphical representation of the vulnerabilities in entire organization, which according to BDSLCCI, suppose there are certain websites are being watched by people which are malicious. So those are getting reported. Many things are there. So and it is getting enhanced day by day. Our team is continuously working on it to make it more available for the companies. And all this data, we are not stealing data. We are just encrypting data, displaying it, and after 30 days we are deleting the data. We are not keeping because our business is not to work on data. We are actually trying to educate companies like these are the areas you need to improve. And according to our knowledge, we are actually creating a knowledge repository over there. So as people will get all the benefits out of this graphs which we are showing on the web page. Apart from that, as I already told, there is one portal which is one page there where company can see the employee cybersecurity awareness training status. How many employees tried to attempt training? How many employees failed in the test and they went for retest, means reappearing the training. So every data, every employee's data as well as summarized data is shown on one of the page in graphical manner. So as company will come to know how these people are actually means their employees are actually cybersecurity aware or how seriously they are taking cybersecurity. So these kind of tools integrations we have. So it will help organization and it will keep on improving. I'm not saying we are 100% at very good state. It is a continuous improvement. And daily we are adding new features in this. So as we are trying to think as what will be MSME company might be thinking, how what is needed for their top management. So we are wearing their shoes and we are wearing their specs and we are watching towards BDSLCCI what they need, and we are trying to implement new features in that.
Sir, what are the key performance indicators should be tracked as part of BDSLCCI?
The human layer is very important. Human layers means the employees. So employees, if they are, we always in the audit language, we jokingly say like fool with tool is always is still fool. It means even though you have a Mercedes car and if you don't know how to drive and you are accidental person, you are accidental driver and you are always doing accidents. So even though you drive a small inexpensive car or very costly car, you are going to do accidents. So similar way, if the human working in the organization, starting from the gatekeeper of the organization till the CEO, if anyone is not following cybersecurity best practice and they are ignoring the best practices which we are recommending or any standard is recommending, so it is going to cause accident. If you remember, before a month, one of the huge company having 20,000 employees undergone a ransomware attack in United States, and that ransomware attack was, I can't recall the name of the company, but yeah, but that ransomware attack happened, and it was very surprising because that company was very much cybersecurity and it was ideal for everyone. But how it happened? When the investigation happened, only among those 20,000 employees, only one employee actually clicked one phishing email link. And within 3 hours, the ransomware attack took control of entire organizations, network, and machines. So that is the powerful power of the today's technology, which like we are saying, we are using chat, GPT, AI, ML. Similarly, the hackers are also having advanced tools, and they are able to capture the 20,000 machines or the network of the organization within 3 hours. So that is the specialty of the hackers. And
you need a door to enter. So once the door is opened for one piece, I think they can capture the larger size of the organization or any bigger organization. The door once cracked, then you have the whole Pandora box open for you to explore. They can put everything and get every data out of it. That one weak link is what is required.
Yeah. So that is the main KPI, which I should say, because human layer is a very important layer. Even though companies are not having excellent tools, but if their employees are very excellent and they are cyber aware, they are taking precautions, still that company is in good cybersecurity posture, according to me. Because I have seen few companies in MSME who are very disciplined, who are following policies, who are very curious about each email they are receiving, who are very careful about what they are sharing, what they should not share, and they are very matured, and they are able to maintain cybersecurity posture very good cybersecurity posture as compared to the other companies, where they have excellent firewall, excellent antivirus, but the people are not following rules. So that is one key performance indicator according to me. Secondly, the machine which company employees are using, and especially the most vulnerable people in the organization are HR people and accounts, because they are receiving many invoices, many resumes on their inbox, and generally through those files actually ransomware or any phishing attack happens. So it is very important department because they are always on radar of cyber criminals. So endpoints, the email security, such areas are very important. Apart from that, as you know, there are earlier before few years, Philips launched one Wi-Fi operated bulb, and using that bulb, hacker was able to enter into network of the organization, right? Using the printer vulnerability, the hackers are able to enter into network. So these things are also happening. It is not only the emails which are being used for the entry point. There are many things. Suppose there is an employee who is charging his mobile phone at the CNC machine computer, and he's mobile, he's a labor. He's a labor. He don't have much education, but he is just charging his mobile because he forgot his adapter of the mobile charger, and he just charging his mobile. But his mobile is having malicious software in it. He was not aware, and using that data wire, actually the laptop got hacked, right? And then it spread across the organization. So these things are happening at the ground level. So these are that's why I told you human security is most important. So cybersecurity awareness training portal and the report which we generate for the organizations is most important KPI according to me.
After KPIs, once an incident is happened and the recovery has to start, what are the essential components of an incident response plan tailored for MSMEs using BDSLCCI?
Correct. So in BDSLCCI, in the governance layer, which comes at the BDSLCCI level 3, we have given BCP, business continuity plan, and another control is incident response. So these two frameworks which we or two components which we have designed for MSMEs are talking about various threats. Like it is not only the virus, it is talking about the fire or earthquake or any flood related things also. So how the business will be continued, how your operations will be continued and should be secured. So those are described in those two policies, and we have given few templates also. In case of small and medium enterprises, there are few limitations. Like suppose there is a 7, 8 employee or 10 employee or 50 employee company, and they have a one office. They can't have the backup office. Like usually big companies are having multiple locations, multiple offices. So how they will counter this kind of threat? So we have given few tips and techniques in that policies, how they can do that. Now as we have learned in pandemic, like we can work from home, so that is one of the strategy. Another thing is the backup and restoration operation, how they need to maintain. We have given that information. Also, if there is an incident, how that incident should be handled. There should be a call tree. There should be certain XYZ things which they need to do. So we have given that kind of information over there. So we have designed. It will look very small BCP for if we compare with the big MNCs, because big MNCs are having their work different departments handling BCP. But in case of MSME companies, they don't have that kind of facilities or that kind of resources. So how they will respond to such incidents or business continuity plan? So we have taken care it into the governance layer.
Okay, Doctor, with this we've got most of the things that you have part of the MSME landscape for manufacturing covered. I think with this we can conclude the show. You have any last words to be told, Dr. Shekhar, on this?
Yeah, I would say if MSME companies are listening to this podcast, I guess many people are listening to us now. And if you have any question, you can ask me in comment of this session or the video which we will post. We will surely try to answer that. But I would say it is your responsibility to handle data of the customer, to handle data of the employees. It is under Data Protection Acts of the various countries, starting from Singapore Protection Act or California Privacy Act or GDPR or Digital Data Protection Act of India. So everyone is talking about data privacy. So it is responsibility of the employer to have cybersecurity defense in depth or data security layer in place to protect privacy of the employees and all the stakeholders. Secondly, as a supply chain, you are part of the supply chain of big companies or small companies, and you are working in the environment where you should be protected to protect the entire supply chain. If one supply chain component is broken by the cyber criminal, it will harm entire chain. So it is very important you protect yourself. Third thing, you should be cybersecurity aware. So once you register to bdslcci.com, you will start receiving the daily cyber alert email notification service, where we are teaching, we are actually spreading awareness about the latest cyber attack, what are the symptoms, and how to prevent that. So we are giving that also free of cost. So you will receive the benefit of that. So don't wait and try to be cyber secured for your company, for the digitalized global economy, as well as for your country and your supply chain. So I would request you to go to bdslcci.com and sign up your company. And for any doubt, any clarification, any support, we are always there. You can reach us, our help desk, or through the contact number specified on bdslcci.com, or through the emails. We are always going to support you. Thank you, Prem sir, for the inviting me, and I guess it was very fruitful session for many.
Yeah, good session, Dr. Shekhar. A lot of work has gone through the building of this framework for manufacturing in specific. I think you have told us in many discussions that we had that you have frameworks for other industries as well, which I think you will be posting it over coming days. And with this, we would like to conclude our session for the day. We at Power of Knowing Forum have been delivering podcasts for the last 6 months now, and we have completed about 65 episodes now. All the episodes are available on YouTube at Power of Knowing Forum. We stream our podcasts on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 9 p.m. IST, with various topics related to cybersecurity, technology, leadership, and management. Please follow our page on LinkedIn, on Power of Knowing Forum on LinkedIn. Thank you for the time and patience in listening to our conversation today. With this, we will end the show. Thank you, Shekhar sir.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, sir.